Alright, what's up YouTube? MK40 here. Giving you guys my Origins review, I guess. We ended up playing on the Defenders, as you guys can see. I got my cute little Ren Suzugami that I have to replace one of these with because I got Jude. Yeah, so I was Team 63. I was the awesome leader. My team was me playing Kagero. Seat B was playing Spike Brothers, and Seat 3 was playing my Shadow Paladin. So you guys are going to kind of get a double deck profile. We're going to do my Kagero today, and then we'll do Shadow Paladin later. So we ended up starting off 4-0. We ended up losing round 5 because me and my friend misplayed super hardcore. I didn't Novell Roman because I was so tired, and he didn't use Jerry Bean's Man Search for his 2, so it really sucked. And then we lost round 6 because we just got outplayed. Revenger beat me hard, and then Seat C, and I'm getting triple critted. So welcome to how card games work. So yes, I did play Novell Vig because I'm that big of a guy. I'll explain some of my card choices here. Of course, your starter is Conroe because he's not banned yet. Triple Novell Vig, pretty standard for what you need to do with him. Triple Dauntless Drive Dragon. This is it for my 3s and 4s. I don't like Cruel Dragon, at least not yet. I still have Conroe, so this engine is pretty consistent for what I need it to be. And of course, you know, he's a big badass boss monster. And of course, I'm the kind of guy that break rides a turn earlier than players feel I should. Getting a +3 on Veg will win you games. One of my friends did make a comment that he did feel that I broke road too early. That break ride is the reason I won the game. Forcing your opponent into a game-ending position for them, even if you are getting like a +3 on this effect. Card advantage is still a relevant thing, even in this game. So taking down an opponent's column and their booster just cripples them because they have to refill that void. And once they've done that, that's just 3 less cards from their hand, and it's 3 more knowns that you can deal with physically. So it is pretty good for what it needs to do. As for 2s, we're going to get into some controversy here. 3 Critic. This is pretty standard for the build. I had no problem using this effect to hit searchers. It was actually really good. I'm not playing anymore. I know certain builds like 4, but 3 is just the perfect number. Alright, so I've seen other players playing Sealed Dragons, other useful things, Berserk Dragon, Bellicosity. I don't like Bellicosity, and I don't like Berserk. My counterblasting is for this card, Conroe, and Novell. That's it. So the rest of my 2s made this deck really retro. 4 Nahalem and 4 Hunger Hell. Now, you might be commenting and going, well, why was he playing this? An original draft build came across a long time ago when Novell first came out in Japan, and I took notice to it. I copied down the list, and I play tested it for a very long time. So I'm most familiar with this particular build as well. Now, the thing that I was noticing a lot in playtesting, especially in newer formats, people do not have answers to 10k unless it's their 9 to 12. And even so, I can just chum block with a 5 draw trigger and just go attack over there. Guy. This 10k base does something that a lot of things I didn't expect to do. This stops certain columns from reaching you, especially when you're at grade 2, because you can just really ride this with no punishment. You can also call this to rear guard and get a steady shot off when your opponent's at 1, and even when they ride into 2, you still can swiftly just get over with this in rear guard without having to do anything. So it's essentially 2 extra free attacks early game, and that was something that I did take heed to. Early game punishing your opponent, especially with 10k monsters. I mean, yeah, you can still set up columns with this, which I will explain once we get into the level 1s, but you can still reach 1800 with some of the other stuff I played. So it was a pretty good meta call, at least I felt it was, for what it needed to do. It really caught some of my opponents off guard when I was 10k'ing up. some of their stuff. This card's not particularly good in the Shadow Paladin matchup, don't get me wrong, but in every other matchup, it was pretty good. Of course, for grade 1s, the 2 booster Novel Vig guy. I never use this. I don't even know why I play it, honestly. I mean, I understand that 10k boosters are good, but I like Novel Vig's Counterblast. The triple Roman, pretty standard for this deck. Of course, the 4-0 shield, which I want to replace so hard. I will eventually. And then, of course, I'm playing for Bahar. Once again, my purpose of this deck was to be as retro as possible. Early game, calling this out, hitting your opponent's 7k Vanguard, okay. Watching your opponent call Masquerade, attacking your Vanguard, you can call this next turn, run over the Masquerade for free. He punishes a lot of things, sets up 1800 columns with my beat sticks, and it lets me hit magic numbers with Vig on rearguard. So, I mean, this behind my Vanguard is still hitting 4 magic numbers, and it's very beautiful. So I really do like Bahar, especially with it being searchable off of Conroe currently. I might change things up once Conroe gets hit, but definitely not anytime soon because there is no real point. As for my triggers, once again, kind of feeling that retro trigger vibe, and went with some art choices here. 4 critical, because this is the most awesome critical, next to the spear. My heal trigger, because I hate the other one. And then, most controversially, for Monica. I know a lot of people are playing Gatling Claw. This 5k boost from this little shit right here won me a lot of games. There will be times where you'll just be like, oh, it's 5k, call it. I mean, yes, Gatling Claw gives you that counterblast, but once again, most of my games I played were Conroe, Critic, and my Novel Vig. That was all my counterblasting for the entire game. Really not much point in using it. I mean, yeah, you do have the option, but once again, going with those art choices on some of these things and trying to make it as fun as I possibly could. So that is my version of Novel Vig, guys. We did go 4-2 in Team League. I'm proud of us. I really am. It was definitely my first time playing this deck competitively outside of, you know, the online simulator, but I mean, countless playtesting for hours really does help. So what do you guys think about this deck? Don't be afraid to think outside of the box with certain things. Always try to justify your opinions and make sure your card choices work best for you. So guys, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I'm out.